Hello, this is my message to the United Nations in reaction for the petition made by Ramlal Bahadur Bomjon's followers, where they are requesting for stopping the police investigation against this criminal guru of Nepal. I am one of his foreign victims, and there are many Nepali victims as well. And I would like to ask the United Nations to seriously reconsider fulfilling the request of Bomjon's followers, because to give him some kind of protection, because we, his victims, had been waiting not less than 13 years, some of us, to get justice in Nepal, because for all over these years the police and politicians had been bribed by this organization of Bomjon and himself, and he is extremely rich, and his victims are poor Nepalis, and I am foreigner but I am also poor, and we could never manage to make any pay a lawyer or to get any justice. And only thanks to the change in the organization of the police leadership in Nepal last year it started to be, they started to kind of search for him, and he has an arrest warrant for repeatedly raping one of his nuns. And I provide a lot of proofs about how near his victims had been to him, and all the most of the victims I knew because they were there when I was chained to the tree and when I was tortured. And I would like to ask you to read my website Hal Korea Times, and also watch my video channel, because give uh, I made a research after I was released, and I survived this terrible torture when they also broke my two hands. So you see, one of my wrists is totally bangled, and the other wrist was also broken. Only doctors can recognize this. This hand I can use, the other hand, even operation cannot fix. But I am also not a powerful person, and Bomjan's followers have big connections in police and politicians, and they always manage to stop every police report. So many people tried to get justice. Of course, there are many people who had been killed. So in their cases, only the poor families who live in clay houses, thatched clay houses, they really don't have possibility to fight against this fake guru. But this is a criminal organization in the name of religion. And also, I am not the only foreign victim who was fooled and got into this trap to support and volunteer in the jungle compound of this Nepali pseudo Buddhist teacher, because there were other, like the Australian Jason. He's a well-known victim, and the Spanish woman who had been the first victim of Bonjan, and the Nepali media, Nepali police knows about all these cases. These cases are registered, and if anyone does proper investigations, all the Bonjan's followers know these cases. The local villagers know me, know Jason, and there was also another foreign victim who was allegedly killed. His family members contacted me. He is an US citizen, Dr. Moore, a retired psychologist. So there are 4 foreign victims and more than 70 Nepali victims of Ramlal Bahadur Bomjon and his followers of brutal tortures. What is going on? Why are they doing this? They seduce us followers and in the name of religion, so we go there and serve him. And he picks up once a time, he picks up certain people whom he wants to sacrifice by terrible torture. This is human sacrifice never really disappeared from Nepal, and what Ramlal Bahadur Bomjon is actually doing, his human sacrifice. The lady who was tortured during the time when I was chained to the tree, there was another Nepali lady, she had been sacrificed, she had been killed. For me, for 3 months, they were just torturing me extremely, but because of my friends who started to search for me and journalist who started to search for me, he had to release me because it was my case was already in the media, it was too well known. But because I'm a foreigner, I had the good luck that people started to search for me. For the other victims, the families give these young people, young girls and boys to Bomjon because they think he's a Buddhist. But already many Buddhist Rinpoches, many Buddhist leaders had spoken out against Bomjon. It's all available on YouTube and I translated it. I will show the links in the description to this video. They don't agree with it. They say he is not Buddhist. He misused Buddhism to attract people to himself, but now he's already telling that he's above Buddhists. So he has nothing to do with religion. This is a very dark group, and I was waiting 13 years to get some justice, and finally I see that the Nepalese police is starting to do some justice, and they made an arrest warrant because of the rape of the young nun, the 14 years old nun. And there were murders also, but the police is doing like half work because there are so many bribes. I have witnessed Bomjon's own mother tried to make a police report in 2012, but due to a 70,000 rupees bribe, that police report was closed down. Because Bomjon also tortured his own family and he killed his own sister Manu, whom we all know who were around those times. And there are eyewitnesses in France, there are eyewitnesses in Europe and America, and a lot of eyewitnesses in Nepal. But because of the police chiefs are receiving a lot of bribe money over these last 12, 13 years, especially police chiefs Bohara and Sharma, who didn't help me to get out from the torture on chains in 2012. And all the next police chiefs, they inherit this bribe machinery from the Bomjon cult, and they got a lot of money from Thailand, Taiwan, Singapore, because those Buddhists, they don't know English, they don't understand the news, so they don't know that Bomjon has already murdered people and raped nuns behind him. And so please, this is very urgent. You must reconsider and make a proper investigation, because this is not human rights against Bomjon. It is human rights against Bomjon's, human rights breaches against Bomjon's victims, because we were waiting so long for a proper police investigation and arrest warrant. More than 70 victims, Nepalese and foreigners, because in Nepal it was not possible due to this terrible corruption. And now, finally, this year, we had a hope that Bomjon and his followers, who were also torturing us, could be prosecuted. And now they are misusing this police investigation, and they are asking United Nations, and they already asked Amnesty International and all other human rights organizations to protect this criminal. So you cannot protect a criminal who is raping young girls, who is killing young nuns who were serving him, and who tortured me and made me handicapped for all life. you cannot do this, because I am also a victim who is too poor, and I am actually homeless, familyless. So I just went to serve Bomjon because my baby died, and I separated from my relationship because of Bomjon, because I was a volunteer there, and I didn't know that it was a criminal cult and that I am going to be abducted and tortured for nothing, for without reason, because I was serving him. But all of his followers are the same. They all suffer similarly, and many of them had been killed. Pasang, the nun Pasang, the nun Karma, I knew them. The nun Manu, his own sister,